Wharton professor Jeremy Siegal says that Bitcoin is digital gold. Let's face the fact, I think Bitcoin as an inflation hedge in the minds of many of the younger investors has replaced gold, he told CNBC last Friday. Digital coins are the new gold for the millennials. Cryptocurrency fever has swept across the globe. Some of the world's richest people have made their fortunes, billions of dollars, from Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And we are now in the midst of a gold rush, a digital gold rush. During the California gold rush of 1848, 300,000 people flocked to the Golden State. Currently, millions of investors around the world have purchased Bitcoin to the tune of $1 trillion. That's a lot of zeros. Bitcoin, it's the mother of all cryptocurrencies, the OG. What exactly is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, which means it can be used as an electronic or digital means of payment. It was developed so that every single Bitcoin transaction is recorded on thousands of computers all around the world in a public ledger. This revolutionary process is called blockchain technology. Is Bitcoin the same as digital gold? Today I want to review whether or not we can make this comparison. First, both have a limited supply. With gold, only so much of the precious metal can be mined from planet Earth. With Bitcoin, the underlying blockchain program limits the production of Bitcoin to 21 million coins to be mined, ever. Since there are 8 billion people on this planet, that means there's only one Bitcoin for every 380 people on this planet. So both have a predetermined limit of supply. Second, both are valuable. Since there's a limited supply of Bitcoin and gold, they are both viewed as valuable. The law of supply and demand. Due to their scarcity, many investors value and hoard both gold and Bitcoin. Third, both have to be mined. Gold has to be physically dug out of mines deep underneath the ground. Bitcoin also has to be mined by computers solving complex mathematical problems and rewarding computer miners with Bitcoin. Fourth, both can be used as a hedge against inflation. Currently, the US and other governments are churning out huge amounts of fiat or paper currency hand over fist. Both Bitcoin and gold have appreciated versus the American dollar and other national currencies. Fifth, both are hard to destroy. Gold is a metal, so it's quite durable, unlike paper currency which can be torn, ripped, become old, or lost in a fire. Since each Bitcoin transaction is recorded by a decentralized public ledger of thousands of computers around the world, it is also hard to lose. Now, why do some say that Bitcoin is actually better than gold? Number one, it is cheaper and easier to use than gold. Gold is very difficult to transport and use in everyday transactions such as buying and selling. Bitcoin transactions can be done in a few minutes or even a few seconds, and fees can sometimes cost just pennies. Currently, 5 billion people have a cell phone and access to the internet. Many live in small villages, while access to gold or traditional banks is limited. It may be easier for them to use online crypto, such as Bitcoin. Number two, Bitcoin cannot be taken by your government. Since each transaction is recorded by a worldwide decentralized network, no government entity can seize it. This probably explains why Bitcoin is extremely popular in countries that have an unstable government, like Turkey, Vietnam, and Venezuela. Number three, Bitcoin has appreciated at a much higher rate than gold. Although the price of Bitcoin probably won't continue to explode exponentially like it has in the past, it offers so much more potential. Now, what are the disadvantages of Bitcoin compared to gold? First, Bitcoin transactions are not entirely private. The ledger itself is open to the public, although the identities of wallet owners can be confidential. Second, it is not widely accepted by governments or banking institutions, although that has changed a lot in 2021. Third, the price of Bitcoin is much more volatile than gold. That means the price fluctuates dramatically. Just in 2021, Bitcoin has bounced back and forth between $28,000 and $68,000. Why are factors that have led to the explosive growth of Bitcoin. First, there's been an explosion in the World Wide Web. Increased access to cell phones and internet means that we have entered the digital age. This has turned our lives upside down. How we communicate, work, shop, eat, and even think. It has transformed our very existence, turning the world into a networked, globalized society connected by exciting new technologies. Number 2, the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008, also called the global financial crisis, was the biggest worldwide challenge since Great Depression. Mortgage-backed high-risk securities and excessive risk-taking by global banks, as well as the bursting of a massive housing bubble, led to a financial perfect storm. Banks declared bankruptcy and were on the verge of collapse and had to be bailed out by their governments. This made many concerned citizens wary of traditional financial institutions and willing to consider alternatives, paving the way for online banking, online transactions, and options such as Bitcoin. In addition, keeping money in the bank has been referred to as savers are losers. This is due to the extremely low rate of return that most banks offer, some as low as 0.1%. This is in contrast to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, where current staking options may pay anywhere from 2 to 10%. Number 3, an explosion in e-commerce. Internet transactions are quick, easy, cheap, and convenient. The number of online digital transactions have grown astronomically. Companies like Amazon and Alibaba are now household names. It's now estimated that there's up to 2 billion global digital buyers and that up to 20% of all retail will soon be digital and online. Number 4, COVID-19. Much like the other factors, COVID-19 has transformed our society. Governments around the world have mandated masks, vaccines, and quarantines. This has led people relying more and more on the internet, global networks, and online transactions. Number 5, government distrust. Government mandates have been extremely controversial and polarizing, especially during the Trump years. Citizens are often look online for sources of information rather than blindly trusting and following their politicians as in the past. Number 6, inflation. The U.S. Labor Department's CPI, Consumer Price Index, climbed by 6.8%, which is the highest level recorded since June of 1984. Countries like Venezuela and Turkey are suffering from what some may characterize as hyperinflation. During periods of inflation, concerned citizens often look at resources that are relatively inflation-proof. In the past, gold, and now Bitcoin. In conclusion, Bitcoin has many of the same characteristics as gold, and we have explored several of its advantages. It is quickly and conveniently utilized with online transactions which are slowly dominating our new digital world. It offers us an option to gold in traditional banking and a way to limit the effects of inflation on our everyday lives. Wharton professor Jeremy Siegal sums it up. Digital coins are the new gold for the millennials. This is Dr. Kidwell. Over and out.